Welcome back to the Who's Accountable podcast. I am your host and creator of this platform. My name is Mahael Abdul Kawi. I am also a representative of the and founder of the Accountability Party for Human Rights. And I would like to welcome those who have been keeping up with the previous videos as well as now joining us in this discussion. For those who don't know, just a little recap. This is a platform where myself and future members of the Accountability Party for Human Rights will come on and we will respond and discuss the things. Keyword on respond and not react. We will respond and discuss certain events of our society, pop culture, whatever it may be, and kind of offer a way for the viewers to see how if these people that were involved in these said events held themselves accountable or practice accountability, how they may have found a better solution to their problem. With that out of the way, I will go into this video and what we were talking about. In the last video that I made, I talked about the two many dictators that, in my opinion, and maybe to many more out there, these too many dictators run the United States of America. That being the corporations and the Pentagon, the military industrial complex. These two entities really being a driving force in terms of the corporations kind of dictating our way of life domestically in terms of what we consume, how we work, what we think about, what our overall these corporations give us meaning of life, quote unquote. It's just very unfortunate that their meaning of life is more so in service to them and their greater cause and to those that run these corporations, while you have um, the military, the Pentagon, uh, dictating behind the scenes and very in front of our faces policy in terms of how we interact with other countries, whether it means going to a war, uh, which that term is more so a cover up for the imperialism that they're doing, and how they have this mission of spreading democracy to quote unquote places that may need democracy, as if that is our business, as if we are the shining example to uphold that. And it's just a brief discussion into that. And but for this video, I want to really focus. I want to intensify the magnifying glass on one specific player on the corporate side, and he goes by the name of Bill Gates. And I want to go and talk about Bill Gates because Bill Gates just recently came out with a book. Don't ask me if I know the name. I've only read uh, I've only read parts of the book in my own brief research, and plus I've only heard others discuss the contents of the book. But I don't per se care for the title, nor because I don't want to say his name in a way. So, but I want to talk about pretty much his actions as of lately, as of what we know. We being the general public, those who are speaking about these people and their actions, we have been aware of Mr. Gates, his actions in terms of buying land, his interest in buying land, and his general goals of broadening the horizon and going out to space. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because we have an example of corporations, specifically Bill Gates, who I would say, uh, for a lot of these corporations, he wasn't the godfather per se, but in terms of the tech industry becoming the head of the corporations and kind of kicking the oil industry down a couple notches in terms of who dictates the corporate influence. Um, but for Bill Gates, what he is doing is he he's spreading his control through what he would say as your philanthropy work. This man who has caused a lot of stir and controversy since his initial rise to prominence during the 90s with the success of the Windows computer and how far that has gone. And um, just a side note, I want to, as somebody that appreciates technology, that has a deep understanding of what true tech under the hands of proper guidance and wisdom can be truly beneficial. I mean, and we have seen tech be truly beneficial to a lot of our human evolution. And I do think technology is part of the human evolution. But, well, let me put it to you like this: would you give a gun to somebody that's crazy? I would sure hope not. So, to piggyback off that, that's where my, not frustration, but this on the fence line that I have when it comes to not even technology itself. Again, like it's more so the people that make the technology that keep exceeding what that specific piece of technology was supposed to do. Like Facebook, for example, was supposed to be just a way of communicating between old high school and college friends, not a place where you can send money, spread money, play games, and all these extra features. You can post stories now because of them acquiring Instagram. It's like so much beyond what the original purpose is. Whereas if we lived in a true free market of just simple understanding, you would have Facebook be that one thing. You would have the one thing tell stories, so that way it branches out people's way. Or maybe you have a bunch of different companies in that one field, but not one company consuming all the different fields and saying no that we dictate what all the different fields can do. No, you stick in your lane and do what you can. So, you know, with that being said, let's look at what Bill Gates is doing. He's colonizing land and space. Well, attempting to colonize land. Well, no, he is colonizing land and he's attempting to colonize space. Um, I don't think somebody with a God complex should dictate the land, especially when land is such a crucial part of freedom, especially more specifically in the history of the United States. Land is a very, like, it's there in terms of um, uh, uh, economic freedom for a person. And you've seen, especially since the Great Depression to now, this decline in farmers and more so corporations taking over it and taking over land essentially. And that was already bad enough when you had these big titans in the respective food industry and the agricultural industry coming in. And fast forward to 2021, we have Bill Gates, somebody whose main area of expertise is tech. It's, fam, you did your purpose. Just retire. Stop trying to have an opinion. Stop trying to dictate what we are going to consume, because it's only going to go from here where he's going to be buying land, and I doubt he's going to be buying land with the caution of those that may already live there, or the possibility of what this land could be for individuals instead of him. Like, why does he need land? There's nothing that he has done. What? He made Windows. Cool. Big whoop. You made this one great thing that has evolved beyond you to the point where you don't need to have an opinion on anything else. And people may be like, oh, well, he's earned his right. No, he has not earned anything. You ever watch 60 Minutes, and you ever uh whenever I used to watch those kind of shows with my grandmom, I've always noticed this common trend with a lot of the serial killers or just the killers on the show is that people that the people that interacted with these killers, they always say the same thing. Oh, I didn't see it coming. This person was nice. He, had a little something off, but he was a good person. He did this. He did this one thing. Okay, so what? Because he helped the old lady cross the street one time, does that matter when he brutally murders somebody else? Like, why are we even bringing it up? It shouldn't even be like, okay, cool. So the same thing here. He made windows. Okay, Bill Gates, why are you imposing yourself into these areas when those that those that pay attention to your actions and to others that that have done similar things like you, we know your MO. We know that you truly don't care about the people. You're only looking to expand what you're able to provide. Now, I have to do further research. I'm not sure if it's already said what he's planning to do, but what is he going to get involved into our food industry? Do we really trust a man who's connected to eugenics to honestly give us food? Step back and really ask that question. The man who the online community, the underground community, knows very much well that he's connected to eugenics. Even if you flag that off as conspiracy theory, it's still connected to his name, where it's a background that's very suspect. It raises suspicion. Come on, you know? So I don't see how him getting involved in the labor market, especially since he truly believes. You could tell by how he talks and from the tweets that I've seen. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't really see a lot. But from what I've seen shared by other people, he thinks that he knows what's best for just human civilization. Fam, you're not even fucking human. How can you speak on what's good for humanization? I mean, I truly believe this man has a God complex, and a God complex. Just hold on one second. Let me pull up. This is on Wikipedia. A God complex is an unshakable belief characterized by consistently inflated feelings of personal ability, privilege, or infallibility. A person with a God complex may refuse to admit the possibility of their error or failure, even in the face of irrefutable evidence, intractable problems, or difficult or impossible tasks. The person is also highly dogmatic in their views, meaning the person speaks of their personal opinions as though they were unquestionably correct. Someone with a God complex may exhibit no regard for the conventions and demands of society and may request special consideration or privileges. Now, to the good people out there who are watching this, and to those again who are amongst this community, um, that's that right there can be applied to not only just Bill Gates, but you can apply it to Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. As much as I support Google as a concept and as a company, shit, the CEO, uh, Sundai, I know I'm butchering his name, but yeah, the Google CEO, he falls in there too, and many more. These people, they don't relate to the common folk. They don't relate to the oppressed people. These people are playing around with our dopamine, with our brain chemistry, just so that way they can sell a product. It's a different thing where we wind the clocks like 50 plus years ago when people would sell a product and it would just naturally trigger something, and that was just by a natural coincidence of of this person's dopamines and whatnot, But we live in a time where down to the color palette that is used on a specific social media is meant to influence you, so that way it pulls you in more. They want to keep you in this ecosystem that they control instead of being an ecosystem of diversity, of different opinions, of different beliefs. No, you have to at how you have to become a drone, a living drone to these people. And they have started that influence through their products, which were meant to help people. You can say the same thing about money. Money is not evil. It's the people that put their intentions into it, that make it evil. So technology is not evil. Most technology does not have an AI that is trying to kill you. Most technology literally just has a code and a function, but it's the intent that these creators put. And this is where they lack accountability. Because if they had a moment, or if we, the American justice system, impose proper accountability on these people instead of bailing them out whenever things go wrong, so that way they can continue to thrive and to be what? An example of American prosperity? Bullshit. The only prosperity is happening for them and in their life. It has nothing to do with us. If they were benefiting the fucking American people, then yeah, we could talk about American prosperity, but we're not, because they don't help us besides bring us down to a very primitive level of sense. There's no accountability in terms of their actions, so these people get away with things. And when you constantly get away with actions, and what, you have to do a PR speech apology whenever something happens here and there. No, there's no actual justice to let these people know, oh, if you do this, if you are intentionally bringing down the collective consciousness of human beings, you are a criminal. And I'm not talking about an America's God. I'm talking about it's an act against God at that point. And I am a Muslim, so I do have a certain specific morale that I'm not going to impose on anybody. But when you look at the actions of these corporations through any type of lens, whether it's a psychological one, a cultural one, a religious one, check off the fucking marks. The corporations are still the bad guys, regardless of what lens you look at them through. And just as we move forward, as we have our freedom of mobility open up again, and as we're able to go out and meet people and talk to people again, and really have these conversations, make sure you're talking about these things. The people that know this information specifically about Bill Gates and the other ones out there, make sure you spread this message to those that don't know, even if they don't want to hear it, because it is crucial that individually we all understand how there's no accountability for these people doing these crimes. So if there's not going to be a court system, laws that make these corrupt individuals so focused on themselves and their own eternal wealth and their own immortality, instead of just being a human fucking being, coming down to us, holding themselves accountable to the fact that they're the reason why so many of the youth are going to grow up weak-minded, which then affects how strong we're able to hold a nation up, which then, again, just makes us cripple and more weak and gives them more power. So it's a fucking cycle that starts with the lack of accountability. Because if these motherfuckers knew that, oh, if I do this, if I try to control these people, I'm going to face jail time. I'm going to be held in the face of the people that I'm hurting, and they can dictate my fate. Oh, best believe it, they would not be doing it at all. So again, if we can't, 2020 showed us that we can't rely on our government to do these things, to stop these criminals, because the government should be the one that puts the hand up and says, wait a minute. My responsibility is these people. Corporations, capitalism, military, y'all help, set these guidelines, for this culture, for the society, but it is the government that does it. And we don't have a government that has the balls to stand up to these forces. So it's up to us, the people, to do that. It's not even a violation of civil rights. It's a violation of human fucking rights, what they're doing. And nobody's saying anything about it. And when I say somebody, I'm talking about on a mainstream level. where they know what's happening. It can't be just small organizations in Alabama trying to unionize against Amazon saying we're done and tired of your shit. It can't be like small little, YouTube channels anymore. No, it has to be a public conversation. You can be uncomfortable for a while if it means making sure that those who are hurting you long term. You can be uncomfortable in the short term if it means that the people who are hurting you long term can suffer. And inshallah, these messages get out to the people and more just stick up and keep fighting for what is right, which is the freedom of us to be able to make our choices and to not be put in to not be seen as cattle.